Good evening. It is 5 p.m. I'm Rob Watton, Chair of the Public Safety Committee, and joining us online, we have Councilmember Cotton and Councilmember Christensen. And with that, I'm going to call us to order. I just did partial roll call, and also in the chambers here, we have City Clerk Dina Dean, and we have City Administrator Mike Chambliss, and we have City Attorney Dina Burke, as well as both chiefs are present. So, and forgive me, Dina, sitting next to you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilmember Watton. I am pleased to present. This is Mr. Robert Thrall. He has been newly joined the city. He is Legal Assistant Deputy City Clerk.
Well, congratulations. Great first name, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome. And in person, Councilmember Christensen. We're all here. So with that, as I give you the opportunity to settle in for a moment, we have a brief agenda today. And in a moment, I'm going to call for the approval of the agenda, but I'm just going to try to buy some time for Councilmember Christensen. So if you don't mind, today's agenda are two items. First of all is the approval of the minutes dated August 4th, 2025. We'll get to, and the reason why I'm going through this is just to make sure that we don't have any lull in the recording. And then we have one agenda bill. It's Agenda Bill 25-076, Washington Traffic Safety Commission Interagency Agreement. And I would think that is our chief presenting on that. That's correct. Okay, so we'll get to that in just a moment. I'm just kind of prepping everybody. So with that, first of all, I'm going to call for the approval of the agenda. Are there any corrections, additions to today's agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Cotton and seconded by Councilmember Christensen. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we will approve the agenda as presented. Thank you very much. Next, we move on to public comments. This is where your opportunity, if you're watching today, we are recording, and it will be on the city's website for your viewing pleasure later on. But if you happen to come in person, you have the opportunity to speak before the committee on matters regarding public safety. But there is no one here unless one of those here present today cares to make public comment. And seeing no one move up to the microphone, I will close public comment for today. But just remember, you can always send your comments in to the city clerk or to the council members or the administration, and we'll make sure that those get addressed. Moving on, go to minutes. And the approval of the minutes dated August 4th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Christensen, seconded by Councilmember Cotton. Any changes to the minutes? All right. Hearing no objection, we will accept the minutes as presented. And now we've got Police Chief Harese on Agenda Bill AB 25-076, Washington Traffic Safety Commission Interagency Agreement. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, council members, city administrator, anybody online. Police department has been looking for, and has done this in the past, but is looking for new ways to utilize our time and put emphasis in certain areas. The Washington Traffic Safety Commission utilizes grant money and can reimburse some of our overtime or even our regular time on expenses that we have for special emphasis in the areas of DUIs, seatbelts, motorcycle enforcements, things like that. So earlier this summer, we started looking at this, and this particular contract ends in the next 30 days. But I would still like to get this through to utilize it and put a focus towards more specifically some of the motorcycle stuff. So all the stuff that we've been doing with electric motorcycles, things like that, I can utilize some of this to get reimbursed for some of our enforcement actions on that. You'll see in here that there are designated times that there were DUI enforcements and things like that. This contract will continue. There will be a new contract that comes out that we can sign going into the end of 25 and into 26. So when that one comes out, I will be bringing that one for next year, which then we can utilize it for all of the holiday emphasis, things like that. One of my ideas with this is kind of just being able to focus on some of our problem areas, which, as you're all aware, we've had a lot of topics over the electric motorcycles and the illegal use of those devices. So this can help designate me a officer maybe on, let's say, a weekend shift when the weather's nice, and then we can try to get that money reimbursed through this grant process. So I would still like to push through and get this done, even though we have a month, because that month is still vital. We still have nice weather. And then once I get the new contract for the 25-26 year, we will bring that back to you to continue this as an ongoing thing for us to kind of bring some emphasis for those items such as DUIs, the click it or ticket, and continued motorcycle enforcement. A good example of one of the reasons I want to continue this is over the last 2 weeks, we arrested an individual for DUI and booked him into jail. 6 days later, we arrested that same individual for DUI in the same area. So the problem is still there. And I think this is a good way to where we can offer additional enforcement actions, whether it's on regular time and we get some of that reimbursed, or we do it as an overtime emphasis, specifically like Labor Day weekend or the 4th of July next year, Christmas time, things like that. So, I will be happy to answer any questions you have on this.
All right, council members, I'll give you the opportunity first. Councilmember Christensen, do you have any questions?
I may have a couple for the city attorney that I would ask at a different
Okay.
time, probably.
Oh,
Just with
Councilmember
the-
Cotton, please.
Yes, it sounds like we have utilized this in the past. I think maybe we just haven't had the opportunity in this past year and a half with things going on, but it definitely sounds like very worthwhile programs that, I know you folks have been supporting for a long time already. So if we can get some reimbursement for or some, for dedicated officers handling some of these types of objectives, I think this is all great, and I'm all for it.
Excellent. I've got a question.
Sure.
We've done this in the past, and in the agenda bill, it says that the maximum has been $3,187. What are you anticipating, just so that we can have a better grasp, especially since we're at the very tail end?
So the tail end, I'm not expecting a lot. Going into next year, they have meetings monthly that I will be designating an officer to go to. Officer Gutwein was the one attending those in years past.
Okay.
I believe it's been about 2 years since we've utilized it. And I want to say it's about 340,000, give or take, that is divvied up among the agencies. Some agencies don't use it. The last time I used it in Enumclaw, for example, which was just before I left, I believe we pulled about $2,900, $3,000.
Okay.
And that's considerable if we look at it apply it to those areas where we need, and they run 4-hour shifts. And you have to have certain trainings to, especially for DUI, you have to have certain trainings like A-Ride, stay up on your SFST refreshers, so things like that. So you're doing a little more advanced stuff. So it may not apply to everybody at that moment.
Do you find other things just beyond just the monetary reimbursement that helps your staff too?
Well, it helps because it provides for extra experience. We get them to extra training.
Okay.
The biggest benefit is going to be to the community. Because we're out there, we're visible, and we're trying, we're keeping these crimes that are being reported down and sometimes not reported. But like I said, we've had recently the same person arrested for a DUI within a week of each incident. And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've had 3 weeks, we've had 4 DUI arrests kind of like back to back in the same area. So we can apply some of that to that area and just kind of help that area or that community, that section of community out.
It was helpful that he chose the same officer for both incidents.
That too.
All right. Well, excellent. Any further questions, council members?
Not at the same.
Administration? This is excellent. And I guess the next thing is, do we agenda bill, put it on regular agenda or consent? Can we put it on consent?
I'd be agreeable to putting it on consent. It's a low dollar amount. It's funds coming into the city, and it's something that is not new that we've been a part of for a number of years.
Okay. Councilmember Cotton, is that a second to that? Okay, all right. Majority rules goes to consent. Thank you very much. Okay, well, this might be the fastest public safety meeting yet. Items for future discussion. Yes, City Administrator Chambliss.
Myself and a cast of thousands were out on Park Street for the first day of school. So when the Public Works Director returns from his well-earned vacation, I imagine he'll be bringing a report of some improvements that are going to take place this week, along with future plans for bigger improvements.
So you were on Park, was that in front of Snoqualmie Elementary then?
We went from the elementary all the way down to the park. So we worked the whole street that morning. So
All right,
there's going to be some signage changes and some paint changes this week.
but the emphasis is on Snoqualmie Elementary School zones?
It's all kind of one big school zone in that
Okay.
area.
So
It's
does that
already past the
include the high school as well? And
Yes,
then the Snoqualmie Middle School around the corner or not?
we didn't go over there.
Okay, so the 2 schools. All right. 3 actually, count the big picture school.
Yep.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none. I will call for adjournment. Is there a
Second?
motion?
Do you need a motion or?
Moved and seconded. Moved by Councilmember Christensen, seconded by Councilmember Cotton. And if there are no objections, we are adjourned at 5:14 p.m.